So now that we have an overview of what an implied relationship is, I want to give an overview of this sample model. First things first is our references. So in this model, we are using information from this website linked up here, the generic infusion pump. This is something that me and a colleague are working on um, creating for the healthcare industry. That's not available yet, but will be available in the future. And I've taken some requirements that we came up with in the process of creating that model, and I included them here, but I wanted to include the reference so that everybody could take a look. And these are two deliverables from that website. So now let's get into it. So the first implied relationship that we have is this basic implied relationship. So this is just standard out of the box. You're not doing anything to the implied relationship. You're just selecting refine. What that will do in this case, so say we have a patient interface and it is a more general version of a bolus request button. So this is going to be our source, and you note this ST here, that means source to target. That's the direction of the relationship that this is finding here. So again, we start with the source, as we said before, and we collect all of those. So we're doing source to target, so that means we're going to start with this bolus request block, and we're going to follow the source. In this case, the source is a generalization from the bolus request button to the patient interface. And then our criteria is refine, source to target, and we go and we find this requirement. And that creates an implied refine from this requirement to this block. Now, this is just a simple example. In terms of SysML, I wouldn't say that this makes much sense because again, we're going from something that was so this patient interface is refining this requirement, which that means that it's giving more information about this requirement. So then a more specific version could not then be refined by that requirement, but we are just using this as an example of how to do something simple. Even if it's in this case, I wouldn't suggest doing it this way.